Hi, my name is Aaron Parker, L5 leader and EMT member with My Lead System Pro, and this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and we just had the Super Bowl 50, so a lot of people, millions of people from around the world all watched the Super Bowl. So this is the perfect time to do a video that talks about the difference between a player and a spectator. And so I've got some powerful concepts and some powerful differences that I want to share with you in this video that I think could have a drastic impact on your business. So whether you are a network marketer, an affiliate marketer, or just have some type of a home-based business, you're an entrepreneur, these concepts and these ideas I'm going to share with you right now can absolutely make a huge impact, because it did for me when I first learned this many years ago. So the question I have for all of you is this: are you a player or are you a spectator? Now, many of us, like myself, I literally spent my first decade, so 10 years, as a struggling network marketing spectator. So for 10 years, it took me to go from spectator to player. And so to put these in perspective, what's the major differences here? Let me kind of break it down for you. If you're taking notes, that's great. If not, it's all good. Just pay attention. First of all, a spectator is someone who is building their business part-time. So you're putting in an hour or two per day. Some spectators don't even put that much. Maybe they put in 30 minutes a day, or maybe 3 to 5 hours per week. Some spectators who are building their business part-time, will maybe put in 2 to 4 hours a day. And that's great. But you have to understand that from spectator to player is a process. And I think the reason why so many people don't have quote unquote success in the home-based business industry is because they're not willing to move from spectator over to player. So let's talk about some of the differences and what I believe it takes to go from spectator to player. Now, by the way, a player means that you're full time. It means you're making, in your home business, you're making $40,000 per year or more, whatever that number is for you, that gets you to the point of where you can quit your job if you want to. It's that fire your boss type money when you become a player. And so there's a lot that has to happen to go from spectator, part-time, to player, full-time. So let's talk about some of the major differences. First of all, the analogy I'm going to give you here is football, but this could be used for any sport. If you look at CrossFit, if you look at tennis, if you look at golf, if you look at soccer, any major sport in the world today has spectators and players. So a spectator is someone who is watching the game on TV. Okay? So the analogy there, the equation there for home-based business, network marketers will say, somebody who's watching the game on TV in sports would be a network marketer who never goes to events. Right? We all have company events, annual events, regional events, monthly events, weekly events. If you never go to any of your company events or industry trainings, in-person events where you go to an event, then you are a spectator who only watches the game from TV, sitting back. You attend some webinars once or twice a week, and you're just building your business as a spectator. That's what you're doing. And you know what? I want to also throw a disclaimer out there that some people in network marketing or in their home-based business, being a part-time spectator is all they want to do. And I want to just throw it out there that there's nothing wrong with that if that's all you want to do. So if all you want to do is be part-time, make an extra $500 a month, maybe $1,000 a month, and that's it, then maybe you could not watch this video, because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, right? But if you want to break out of that and you want to become full-time and become a player, keep watching. All right, so you're watching TV, you are a network marketer who never goes to events. Now, there's another level of spectator, And that's the spectator who goes to the events, meaning you go to the football game. You are investing your time and your money to go to the game. Like, you are hardcore. How many of you love to go to the game? It's incredible. Like, I just went to my first NBA game just this year. And it was awesome. It was exciting. It was really cool. It's nothing like watching it on TV. You know, I've been to a few football games. It's nothing like watching it on TV. And so in your home business, to take your part-time business to the next level, you have to go to the game. You have to get to events. Weekly, monthly, quarterly, the annual, once a year big event. If you're not getting to those events, then you're simply, in my opinion, you're not that serious. Because one thing I learned a long time ago, and it's so true, is that all of the most successful people, the people who make 6 and 7 figures, they all go to events, all of them. It's just kind of, part of what you have to do. You got to go to events. All right. So also being a spectator, it's playing it safe. All right. You're not on the field. You're not going to get hurt. As a spectator, you don't really have to put yourself out there that much. You can just kind of, take it easy. You're not being super aggressive, super hardcore salesperson. So you're playing it safe. You're just building it part-time. You're not going to, hound your friends and family. You're not going to be too salesy and too closey when you're prospecting people. Just playing it safe. And so playing it safe means that you're not going to meet very much resistance. Do you think players on the field are playing it safe? No. They have not played it safe at all to get to where they are. The thousands of hours of training and failure that they had to go through, and the poundings that they had to endure to be able to become a player on the field, it's a lot of hard work. And so you have to be willing to fail. I think that one of the greatest equations for success in any business as an entrepreneur is failure. Fail your way forward, fail your way to the top. And I think a lot of people in this industry, the network marketing, home business industry, are afraid to fail. And it's one of the biggest things that held me back for so many years from moving from spectator into the player category. The other thing that spectators do is they're blaming everyone. They're blaming the refs. They're blaming the fans. They're blaming the players. They're blaming the TV. They're blaming everything. They're blaming their sponsor. They're blaming their spouse. They're blaming their upline. They're blaming the products or the comp plan or the company video, or they're blaming everything. So now, do players on the field, do you see them complaining sometimes? Yes, I will admit that does happen. But in our industry as network marketing professionals, to become a full-time player, you can't blame. You can't be the victim. You have to be willing to take 100% responsibility. Now, even though the players on the field, you might see them complaining or fighting for calls and things like that, that may be true. But to get to where they are, to become a player, to become the best, to be on the field, they didn't blame other people. They took responsibility and did what it took to get to that point. So be willing to blame no one. You've got to take full responsibility to move from spectator to player. All right. The other big one, and this I've suffered from this, even still do sometimes, is a spectator is in many cases only going to play, only going to work when they feel good. When their energy's high, when they're feeling great. Excuse me. I got a little cough, right? So what does that mean? It means, I'm not going to work today. Can't make any calls. No, heck no. A player is going to grind every day. No days off. Now, does that mean that players don't take one day off a week? They probably do, but they're grinding for 6 days a week. They're putting in, 8, 10, 12 hours a day to be able to become a player. And so the spectators in our industry, they only put in the work when it feels good. You have to be willing to put in the work even when you don't feel good. You're tired, not feeling good, you've got some stress happening in life, your boss is being a what, your spouse is, giving you a hard time, you've got people in your team who aren't listening to you, and you're just kind of down. Can you just throw in the towel for the day and say, nah, I'm not going to do anything for the next couple days? Guys, that's what spectators do. To become a player, can't do that. You've got to put in the work every single day and be consistent. And very simply put, to kind of wrap all that up, a spectator is going to make excuses. It's just a reality. A player makes money, makes results. It's a clear line. There's no gray area. If you look at the most successful players in any sport, if you look at the most successful people in your business, they make results. They never make excuses. Just the way it goes. That's what it's going to take to move from spectator to player. So my question for all of you is, which one are you? And I have 4 very important questions. If you haven't written anything down yet, I would urge you to pause this video right now, get a pen and paper. I want you to write these questions down, because these are profound questions that if you really take them to heart and you really answer them, could make a huge impact on helping you to move from spectator to player. All right, you ready? Number 1 is, how bad do you want it? I don't know if you can see this behind me. That's a quote from Eric Thomas. Love that guy, TGIM. And it says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that bad, you'll be successful. And when you look at the most successful people in business, the most successful people in sports, the ones on the field, the ones making millions of dollars, they wanted it. I want to put it in quotes. And I want to be clear here that it is different for everyone. For some of you watching, it is $10,000 a month. And if you were making $10,000 a month, that was my number for 10 years, for as long as I was in this industry as a spectator. If I could just get to $10,000 per month, I would be a millionaire. I've made it. And that was my number, $10,000 a month. Of course, once I got to $10,000 a month, my goals and my vision grew beyond that. But I want you to figure out what it is. To you, what is it? And it may not be a number. It may not be a certain amount of money per month. It's, what is your lifestyle? It's, what are you doing every day? How are you living your life? How many people are you helping? What are you getting to do with friends and family? That is it in this example. And so my question that you want to write down is, how bad do you really want it? Whatever that it is. And you got to figure out what that is. Because if you don't want it that bad, my friend, you will never move from spectator to player. It's just the reality. All right. Number 2 question is, why do you want it? See, guys, I'm just speaking from personal experience. I literally spent 10 years as a spectator because I thought I knew what I really wanted. I had this big why. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be massively successful. But my why do I really want that, wasn't clear. I didn't really know why I wanted it. I just thought I wanted it. And because I didn't really know why I wanted it, and my why wasn't big enough, I never got it. And I never did what was required to move from spectator to player. So, how bad do you really want it? Why do you want it? All right, here's number 3. Number 3 is a good one. Here we go. What am I, this is you, what am I willing to give up to get it? See, here's the reality. Again, if you look at every major professional athlete in the world, they had to give up so much of their time to get to where they are. They had to make massive sacrifices in their life to not go party, to not play video games all day, to not watch TV all day, to not be average. Spectators are average. And they were willing to give up who they were to become who they wanted to become, which is actually number 4. So again, number 3 is, what are you willing to give up? And you may actually want to take some time to write down some things. If you don't go through this exercise right here of writing down, how bad do I want it? Why do I really want it? Number 3 is huge. What am I willing to give up to get it? Actually write some things down. I'm willing to give up this. I'm willing to give up that. It could be watching TV. It could be, fun stuff that you're doing. It could be, excuse me. It could be hanging out with a certain friend or friends, whatever that may be. But there's got to be something that you have to sacrifice or give up in order to bring something new into your life and to create greatness. All right, last but not least, number 4 is, who do I need to become? Who do I need to become to get it? And the question is, who do I need to become to get it? And some of you might think, well, I don't want to become someone else. The real question is, are you willing to give up who you are today? Spectator, not making as much as you'd like, not having it yet. Are you willing to give up who you are today, to give that up, or at least a piece of who you are today, to become who you want to be? Still you. It's not like you're becoming someone else, but you have to be willing to change a piece of who you are to become who you want to be. And so, who is that? What does that look like? And this is also, again, exercise. Write this down. What does that person look like? Not necessarily physically. Maybe it could be physical. It could be better clothes. Could be, better haircut. But it's also, who do you have to become on the inside to become a player? Who? So we got the how, the why, the what, and the who. Those are the 4. Are you going through the exercise? Was this powerful? Did you get some value from this? I would love to hear from you. So right now, if you did get some value, if you think this is going to maybe help you a little bit, move from spectator status into player status, drop a comment right here on this video, wherever you found it. Would love to get your feedback. If you have any questions, by the way, on anything that I've shared, drop those questions below. I'll be looking for them. Right? I'll be looking for them. But with that, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. I really hope that you did get some value from this. Once again, this is Aaron Parker, L5 leader with MLSP, and I truly hope that you're willing to do what it takes to move from spectator to player, because it will change your life.